All right, welcome Blue Jay fans to another fantastic mega night of Bondurant for our Blue Jay basketball here in Raccoon River Conference action. Bondurant for our Blue Jays versus the Carroll Tigers on this last set of games before the holiday break. Patrick Meyer here with Chad Carlson. How you doing, Chad?
I'm winded, Patrick. I had to hustle to get up here tonight.
We may have had some debate on whether you were coming, but hey, you're here, and that's all that matters.
Made it. Excited to be here.
Exciting night here as we look to close out 2021 in a positive way for both teams. The Bondurant team coming in 5-2 overall, 3-2 in conference, and the Carroll Tigers 4-3 overall and 1-3 in conference. Should be an exciting night. The Blue Jays have who'd they play Friday night? Carlisle, right? Doubleheader at Carlisle, right. And Blue Jays came out ahead on both of them, so had to think about that for a second. Minor lapse.
Yeah, pair of games where neither team had kind of an easy start, but both had strong late third quarters, pulled away fourth quarter, and made it a fun and productive night down at Carlisle. Always good to win there. Always
Absolutely.
Good to win there.
As we look at starting lineups here coming in, the Carroll Tigers will be starting number 2, Hannah Jorgensen, a senior guard. Number 4, Caitlin Aiden, a freshman guard. Number 10, Cameron Shable, a junior forward. Number 14, Josie Ayala, a senior forward. And number 24, Shay Sinard, a junior guard. And for the Blue Jays, your usual suspects, number 2, Mia Miller, senior guard. Number 3, Peyton Meyer, junior guard. Number 30, Tayana Keys, junior guard. Number 41, Chesney Steenhook, sophomore forward. And number 55, Caitlin Lappy, senior forward. As we get, we're getting about to that point where you start talking quite so much about last year, but both of these teams did lose a lot of points, really, from last year. The Tigers lost their top 4 scorers as seniors. However, Josie Ayala had no stats last year, so I'm assuming she must have had some type of injury that kept her out. And
yeah, maybe a move in or.
No, she was there as a sophomore.
Okay.
So,
okay.
We'll step aside for the national anthem.
Due to technical difficulties, there will be no anthem prior to the game.
Sing it. For a minute, I thought we were going to test out the band's ability for knowing the song from memory there. We have the pep band in the house tonight.
I think I could have pulled it off, too.
With an instrument or just singing?
Oh, just singing. I was a plainsman singer back in the day in
Prairie
City.
I thought, what happens if we just start a cappella at the top? Does it blend down, or does everybody just turn and stare?
Yeah. They might not let me back in the gym if I had done the anthem. So probably best for everyone that the recording worked.
I bet they'd have let you back in.
Possible.
Just blame it on me. It's fine. As we get ready for the opening tip here, Blue Jays have actually won the last 3 games in this series, so hoping they can keep that momentum going. Lappy and Ayala on the tip. Ayala tipped it, and Meyer and Aiden had a little bit of a collision. Ends up in Miller's hands, and Blue Jay ball off the tip.
Looks like a man-to-man, player-to-player.
Keys with the ball at the top, over to Steenhook, out to Miller. Always looking to get it into Lappy. That pass is just a little bit outside, out of bounds, going to be the first turnover.
Yeah, early turnover, and the thing we've seen a little bit of a theme as we see the Jays in a little 2-2-1 three-quarter court pressure is those turnovers become a little contagious early in games, so hopefully that's one of one, and that we don't see any more early turnovers for the Blue Jays. We'd like to see Carroll turn it over.
Ayala out to Jorgensen. Jorgensen cross court to Shable, or Senard. Senard out to Aiden, and is going to get called for the travel. Caitlin Aiden, just a freshman, but is the second leading scorer on their team at 7.3 points per game, shooting 72% from the line. One thing you'll notice in Carroll stats is they shoot about as many three-pointers as we do. So they're 18 of 78. We are 21 of 81. So
okay.
Get a first foul of the game on number 14. That's going to be Josie Ayala.
This is a Carroll team, I believe, has a victory over Gilbert this year. What's been a very good Gilbert team.
Steenhook ends up losing their balance, stepping forward, so that's going to be a unforced error there.
Hey, Eric Sandy's in the house tonight.
That he is.
Always good to see him.
Not even limping too bad, so that's pretty good.
He must have had a
day off,
little PT or something.
Senard cross court to Aiden. Aiden looking down low. Back out, and now we're going to get Senard with the travel.
Yep. A little sloppy play to start. Both teams maybe a little jumpy here in the last game before break.
Miller breaks the press, dumps it off to Steenhook. Steenhook for two, no good. Ayala with the rebound.
Perfect execution from Mia Miller, and Chesney just wasn't quite.
Senard back out to Aiden. Back to Senard. And Meyer tipped it, but into hands of Jorgensen, retains ball.
Pretty active 2-3 zone there for the Blue Jays right now.
Jorgensen in the corner, back to Aiden. Brings it out to the top now, Meyer on her. Jorgensen way across court to Senard. Three-point attempt is no good. Rebound by Tayana Keys.
Nice job by Tay.
Miller bringing it up court now. Steenhook back to Miller. Tried to hit Keys underneath, and they're going to say last touch by Senard, Blue Jay ball.
Yep, deflected by the Tigers. Both teams just struggling a little bit to find some rhythm, feeling each other's defense out a little bit. See if the Jays can get Kate Lappy a touch here pretty quick.
Addison Clocky in for Josie Ayala. Blue Jays get it into Miller. Keys in the corner. Back to Miller. Now, Lappy had that ball tipped away, and it's going to be a foul, I believe, on Clocky. Her first.
Yeah, not a bad defensive play there. Just a little late to get to the double team. But, again, we're going to see that when Kate Lappy gets the ball in that paint area. They're just going to double her.
Miller with the good cut around, gets the bucket and the foul. Well-designed play, well executed.
Yeah, great job. And, you know, the man-to-man defense is really hard to execute on that underneath inbound play. And teams really need to switch on screens there. It's usually going to lead to layups or layup opportunities like that.
And Miller's free throw attempt is good. Aiden back to Jorgensen. Now pushes it ahead to Senard. Steenhook stepped in front. Yep. They let all the contact go, which is probably good.
And just real active in that 2-3. A lot of talk and chatter.
Senard underneath now, gets the layup up, but has it blocked and misses. Steenhook comes away with the rebound to Miller. Pushing ahead. Miller now going to feed Meyer in the corner for three. Just off the rim. And a little fight underneath. Yep. And Aiden came away with the rebound, but then tried to get up and go and is going to get called for the travel.
Yeah, she did everything right. You just can't come up from that kneeled position and then put the ball on the floor.
Could have started dribbling beforehand, right?
Correct. Nice
Tayana
save.
Keys to the basket.
Boy, I love to see that. You know, Tayana Keys has so much athleticism and basketball savvy, and she's still kind of finding her way with this team. But the more we see of that, going to see Carroll keep possession of the ball. Nope,
nobody believes that. He's pointing that they're going to keep it. It looked almost like Chesney kicked it, but they didn't call that either. So
no.
I think Chesney kicked and missed, but they're going to say inadvertently off her foot.
Coach Anderson not agreeing so much with that call, but
okay. Aiden to inbound. Tayana steps in front of it, gets the steal.
There's some of that basketball savvy. Just kind of sniff that one out.
Miller brings it up court, looking to get to Lappy. Over to Steenhook instead. Back to Miller. Miller drives, right hand up, and no good. Going to be off Lappy on the rebound attempt.
Not a bad look by me on that runner, just a little firm off the backboard.
Madison tuning in for the Tigers. It was Shea Senard that went to the bench. We also have Ava Gross in for the Tigers. Got a kick. So right now you have Jorgensen, Aiden, Gross, Tuning, and Clucky in for the Tigers. And for the Blue Jays, Miller, Meyer, Steenhook, Lappy, and Keys.
The M&M girls, Miller and Meyer, really giving Carroll a lot of problems up top in that 2-3 zone. They're kind of switching their spots, just being real active.
They're going to get Lappy on that one. Entry pass to Clucky.
I want to see that one again because unless Kate gave her a little hip check there, I didn't see it that way.
Aiden to inbound. Inside to Clucky, left hand up and good.
Yeah, she reached a little bit there. That was
Miller pushed it ahead to Steenhook. Jorgensen went for it and took the harder end of it. She's going to get called for the foul. Running through Steenhook is going to find and to be ineffective.
Yep.
Steenhook into Miller. Over to Keys. Senard on her, and Senard's going to get called for the foul. She made an aggressive step to the ball and just got a little too close.
Carroll fans not very happy with that call, but there we go.
Ball into Lappy. Back out to Miller for 3 actually. No good. Lappy tipped, but ends up in the hands of Aiden. Miller cuts it off, and we're going to get a jump ball.
Good job by Mia Miller there. She's got her team another possession. Even though Carroll gets the ball, that means the Blue Jays will get it next time. So good hustle play. She reads that sideline pass so well. She anticipates and gets to that. We've seen that a lot this year.
And was able to keep possession, not just knock it out, which is very beneficial. Fuller in for Steenhook. Rebecca's first action of the game. Tuning over to Aiden, back to Tuning. Now to Gross. Aiden for 3. Off the rim, no good. Rebound, back to the Tigers, and Tuning gets the bucket. Clucky got the rebound, Tuning the bucket.
Yeah, those second chance points will pay off. A little pressure there from Carroll results in Mia Miller turning the ball over.
Tuning for 3, going to be off to the right. Key's going to get the rebound. Pushes it ahead to Miller. Fuller just out inside the 3-point line. It's only going to be a 2, but it looked really good.
She didn't hesitate even for a half a second there. She just let it fly. And good looking stroke there by Rebecca Fuller. Get her on the scorer's table.
Aiden up to Clucky, back to Aiden. Aiden for 2, blocked by Lappy, but Clucky's able to step in front and get the rebound. Had it knocked away, gets it back, misses, gets it back again, and gets the bucket.
Man,
a lot of work there from Clucky.
She's doing some serious work. Coach Anderson takes timeout. Not very happy about that. A lot of effort out of Clucky and a lot of watching. And sometimes, Patrick, that happens with a 2-3 zone. It accomplishes what you want it to accomplish, but it also can leave some confusion and a lack of communication as to who has to box out who, and it leads to offensive rebounds. So we see the Tigers getting a couple of second chance buckets there, cut the lead to 7-6. Still on the offensive end, we really haven't seen a clean catch and look from Kate Lappy. I think it's going to take more than 3 or 4 passes to get her open, and a little more patience on the offensive end from the Blue Jays. We'll make that happen eventually, or at least get her in a position to rebound more effectively, but the All-Staters got to get some touches.
We'd also like to welcome in our Blue Jay pep band, as you can hear them up here next to us, jamming away. Always helps build the atmosphere when they're here. Keys back to Lappy at the top, over to Miller, now into Lappy, versus the double team, right hand up and good. Wow.
If she can catch it clean, sometimes the double team doesn't matter.
Sennard underneath the Clucky, up, no good. Miller that comes away with the rebound eventually.
A little better rebounding effort there.
Hannah Green into the game. Peyton Meyer out. Good little spin move. Miller for 3 off the rim, and it's going to be out of bounds. Keys spun underneath. I'm not even sure how she managed to stay in bounds. But
she's got a little bounce to her game tonight. We might see a little breakout.
A little Barry Sanders action. Aiden bringing it up the court. Over to Clocky. Back to Aiden. Sennard now. Good ball movement by the Tigers. Aiden gets the 2-point attempt up. No good. Lappy's able to tip it to Fuller. Miller going to pull it back out. Lappy was thinking about the 3-pointer.
She had a hunch.
Kicks it over to Green. Green for 3 off the rim. No good. Keys. Rebound, feeds Lappy, gets the bucket. Good job, Tayana. Good job, Caitlin. Let's head to the line for one. That foul's going to be on Tuning.
That's just fun to watch. That's just fun to watch. And Tay Keys with a well-deserved round of applause. She's kind of been the bright spot in this first quarter. Just very active on the offensive end, and just want to see her cut loose a little bit.
Lappy's free throw attempt is good, giving her her 5th point of the game.
She's on pace for 20 again, so that's good.
Which would actually be below her average. Yeah. Lappy right now, 3rd in 4A in points, 1st in rebounds, 5th in blocks. Mia Miller 1st in 4A in assists, with more than a few of those going to Lappy. Aiden over to Tuning, back to Aiden. Cross court to Sennard, looking to feed Gross down low. Shot up and good. Sennard's able to take the ball away, looking for the fast break point. Miller in the way. Left hand layup, no good, but Aiden gets the rebound, brings it back out.
Jay's still in that 2-3 zone.
Tuning in the corner, back to Aiden at the top. Now Tuning, thought about the 2, decides to drive. Clucky went for it, down, and Tigers coach gets the timeout.
Save a little possession there. The old the timeout philosophy is a little different from coach to coach. You know, some might say, "Gosh, I really want to save that for a late game situation," but the Carroll coach thought, "Hey, we've got the ball underneath our own basket. Let's take that one right now. Let's see if we can get a bucket, trim the lead before the end of the first quarter." So I got no issue with that.
Yeah.
She probably doesn't care if I have an issue with it or not.
Well, and you got a number of them, right? It's not just one. So.
Yep. Got your 3 fulls and your 2 30s. Carroll's been a tough team on the boards here in this first quarter, and
yeah,
they have committed 6 fouls to the Blue Jays 1, so that's going to come into factor here pretty quick.
Gross with the ball in the corner, out to Sennard at the top. Tried to feed Clucky. Fuller got a piece of it, but it gets back. Swing out to Aiden. Aiden for 3, rattles it home.
Good looking stroke from the freshman there. And look what that timeout did, see?
There you go. At that point, it seems like it's a good play. Speaking of good plays, have you heard of Bird's Nest in Bondurant?
I have.
If you had young kids, which you don't, but if you did, sending them to Bird's Nest might be a good idea. Bird's Nest has been a great partner for both our football and basketball broadcasts. They're located just across from the elementary schools, doing before and after school programs as well as in the summer, and employing a lot of our high school kids, and just a fantastic partner to the community and a great supporter of Blue Jay athletics. So we want to thank Bird's Nest for all of their support and welcome you to check them out if that's the type of need you have, which we don't. But
not you or me.
And I'm not looking to need one anytime soon.
Your youngest might be looking for a job here in the next 3 or 4 years. That might be a good opportunity for her. So 12-11, little rough and tumble there, I would call that first quarter.
Yeah.
Multiple turnovers, not real clean. We've seen that from time to time in some of these games from the Blue Jays, but we've also seen them have some pretty outstanding quarters, a lot of assists, easy buckets, 3-pointers. So maybe this is the quarter where that happens, and Carroll's going to stay in that man-to-man, and they're really hedging Kate Lappy hard.
Blue Jays start out with Keys, Lappy, Steenhook, Meyer, and Miller. Meyer with the ball. Tigers have Aiden, Tuning, Ayala, Gross, and Senard on the court. Miller at the top. Over to Meyer. Meyer for 3. Off the rim, no good. Ayala with the rebound.
Ayala's a strong young lady because she's not backing down from Kate Lappy, who is, of course, a state discus and shot placer. So that's a hard matchup for any player in this conference.
Senard to Tuning, now down to Ayala. Feeds Senard driving to the hoop. No good, and ends up in the hands of Steenhook. There was a lot of hands up there trying to get to that thing.
Yep. He's going to pull it out and kind of set up the offense here.
Keys looking to use Lappy's screen. Double team out to Lappy. Lappy cross court to Meyer. Swings it to Miller. Steenhook in the paint. Right hand's going to be short. Ball tipped away, and Miller chases it down. Throws it to Lappy, who's underneath the hoop and gets the 2-point bucket.
Not an on-the-money pass from Mia Miller, but just good enough to get it into her senior teammates' hands.
Gross over to Aiden. Aiden driving to the hoop. High floater, no good. Ayala comes up with the rebound. Turnaround is going to be short. Lappy gets the rebound. Is that Lappy's first rebound?
Probably not.
She's got a few tips, but that might be the first one she actually came away with.
Yeah.
Miller cutting to the hoop. Back out top to Lappy.
Caitlin's got to be ready to shoot that perimeter shot. She wasn't open there, but I think that's going to be there for her if she wants to take it.
And, Miller drove to the hoop, got fouled, but they got a 3-second call before the foul.
I think they might go to the replay booth to review what came first. Okay.
The chicken or the egg?
Probably won't do that.
Aiden Ayala. Back out to Aiden for 3. In and out. Tuning with the rebound, put back in good.
Again, we're seeing the rebounding difficulties in that 2-3 zone, and we'll see how locked in Coach Anderson is to using that.
Lappy to Steenhook. Steenhook turns up and gets the bucket and the foul.
Great move by Chesney. Great job by Caitlin to find her, but Chesney with that kind of reverse pivot drop step to find the basket. That's not a move you make unless you put a little time in the gym. And great job by the sophomore post player to convert the bucket and get herself to the free throw line.
Foul was on Gross, her first. Steenhook's shot is good.
And the Blue Jays are in the bonus the rest of the half now. So any Carroll foul, other than a player control foul, will put the Blue Jays to the line.
Schabel came into the game for the Tigers. Aiden with the ball out to Shable.
You can just tell Aiden is going to be a player.
Yeah.
She can handle it. She's not afraid to shoot it.
Ayala cutting to the basket. Layup is good. Miller into the triple team. Feeds Keys, who tried to get the ball away, had it bounced off her face. Miller cross court to Meyer. Meyer throws it up, gets the bucket. Oh, they're waving it off.
Yeah, calling the travel. That's the right call.
I would have thought potentially contact caused that falling backwards, but maybe not.
Possibly.
Well, maybe they just
kind of stepped back.
She took two steps, then they stepped in the way. That's the right call. And they're going to get a charge. Shea Senard charges into Chesney Steenhook.
Could be a makeup call. That's a tough one. We'll take it.
I can understand their frustration on that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure Chesney was quite there. She drew some contact, that's for sure.
Yeah.
At this point, it doesn't much matter.
Right.
It's Blue Jay ball.
It really never matters if we agree with the call or not. But Miller with a great dump off to Steenhook. Can't get the ball to drop. Tuning with the rebound. Pushes it ahead. Gross is going to get called for the travel.
Yeah, she took that little side hop.
So 4:06 remaining here, 17-15. Tuning Gross, Aiden, Ayala, and Shable on the court. Aiden rips it away from Lappy and gets the bucket.
And Tay Keys picked the ball up right where you don't want to, in a corner right before the half-court line.
Keys looking to go baseline. Has it swatted away by Ayala. Stays Blue Jay ball after going out of bounds.
And when you get trapped there in that corner, you're really being defended by a sideline, a half-court line, and two players, so you're really surrounded.
Miller, three-point attempt, in and out. Ayala has position, is able to tip it away to Aiden. Gross feeds Ayala down in the corner, and they're going to get Fuller on the foul. Ayala will go to the line for two.
Strong move by Ayala, and again, just got the ball so deep in post position, used her strength to create space with Rebecca Fuller. I'm impressed by the Tigers right now. They're doing a nice job. Defensively, they've kept the Blue Jays. They take their first lead. They've kept the Blue Jays really from getting whatever they want in the paint. We've seen teams really struggle with that most of this year to take that.
Second one is no good.
Take that inside pass away.
Tigers up one. Miller to Keys. Still has a dribble. There you go. Fuller now at the top. Lappy.
Kind of have a triple post offense in right now with Fuller, Lappy, and Steenhook.
Meyer's going to be checking in here in a second. Miller over to Lappy. Now to Keys at the top. Miller cross court to Lappy. Lappy's going to try and get to the hoop. No good on the shot. Tuning with the rebound. Loose ball. Steenhook comes away with it. Lappy, left hand, good.
Nice little Euro step from Kate.
And slowed down just enough that Ayala ran past her.
Hey, Mia Miller made that play happen, though, with the heads-up play on the outlet pass, deflecting it and leading to the 2 points there.
Miller wanted to go press after that. They called Lappy on that foul.
Yeah.
Even though the contact, and she just kind of backed away as opposed to trying to stay with it.
I think I'm going to hand it to Ayala right there. She did a good job to use those wide shoulders to create some space. And Kate's going to go to the bench with 2 fouls, and we'll see if Coach Anderson comes back to her yet in this half.
So Steenhook, Fuller, Meyer, Miller, and Keys on the court for the Blue Jays. Ayala, Gross, Schabel, Tuning, and Aiden on the court.
I think what Kate did there is she kind of turned herself sideways. If she just walled herself off, stayed straight up and down, she might have drawn a charge.
Tuning to the basket. 2-point attempt is good.
It's kind of a crucial point in the game without our leader on the floor. Mia Miller's going to have to continue to make some plays and create some opportunities for her teammates.
Foul on Gross, her second.
I do not think we'll see Kate yet this half unless maybe a possession late in the half just offensively.
Falky in for Gross. Meyer to the line. Shot is no good. Clocky comes away with the rebound, pushes ahead to Aiden. Steenhook steps in front of that. Clocky now with the ball. Has it knocked away. Tuning into Keys' hands, and whole lot of contact, whole lot of action. Going to end up Blue Jay ball.
Ladies are looking a little frustrated right now. Things are not coming easy for them right now.
Miller with Tuning on her.
Tuning's doing a great job up top, really doing a good job to keep us from getting into our offense.
Fuller with the ball over to Steenhook. Steenhook going to her right. Meyer with Ayala on her. Dumps it off to Fuller. Fuller up and good. Good pass.
Nice pass, and Rebecca can just elevate above everybody else to get those layups. Good finish by her.
Well, and you had Ayala chasing Peyton, so Keys knocks it out of bounds. Going to stay Tiger ball. So when you had Ayala out of the picture of trying to block Fuller, she had kind of an open path to get there. So good ball movement. Aiden into Schabel. Now to Ayala down low. Tried to get it to Tuning. Loose ball. And they're going to get Meyer on the foul.
Yeah, I think so. She kind of jumped on the Carroll player rather than the ball.
Officials over there explaining to Coach Anderson something about the action that's going on. Ayala inbounds to Tuning, and they're going to get Miller now.
Just her first.
Yeah. Blue Jays trying to maybe force a little bit of action here.
Yep, still in that 2-3 zone.
Under a minute. Keys, good job knocking that ball away.
Good anticipation.
Aiden's going to inbound this one. He's going to get a kick. Tigers will inbound the ball again. Aiden to inbound it again.
Feels like a 2-minute offense in an NFL game.
Schabel cross court to Ayala. They're going to get Fuller.
Yeah. Right now,
no, they called it on Meyer.
Okay. Just having a little trouble keeping hands off, playing straight up defense, moving the feet, reaching a little bit.
Aiden now top to Tuning. Back down to Clocky, and that's going to be a travel as she couldn't quite handle the ball and had a little bit of help from some Blue Jays and went down to try to save it.
Again, a little bit of a helter-skelter kind of game.
Okay. The official was pointing at the scorer's table like he wanted the possession arrow, like it was a jump ball and not a travel, I think is what he was. He misunderstood his partner's call.
Ooh. I'm not sure I concur with that. Moving screen on Chesney. Boy, we've had a lot of dead balls in the last 22 seconds.
It's been a slow action.
Not a lot of flow at this point.
Keys knocks it out of bounds again. That's what, her fifth one of those?
Yeah. Both teams disrupting the other pretty effectively.
Aiden to inbound it again. Shable coming over to get that. 25 seconds on the clock for this half. Aiden at the top now. Tuning for three. Off the rim, no good. Ayala with the rebound. Up, no good. Tuning with the rebound. Miller dives, tried to throw it off Tuning, which it kind of looked like it did, but that's not what the call was. So Tigers ball, 10.7 seconds under their own basket. Aiden to inbound. Ayala out by the three, feeds it back into Aiden to Tuning, and Fuller went for the block, is going to get called for the foul. And in about 2.5 minutes of game action, I think we've had 6 fouls against us. Tuning's first is no good.
Tuning's impact, Carroll's leading scorer was 6 right now, but her impact on the defensive end has really been disruptive, to say the least.
Second one also no good. Steenhook with the rebound.
See if Mia can get a shot here.
2-1 shot up. Banked and good. Count the bucket. Miller with the three-pointer at the buzzer to give the Blue Jays a 3-point lead, 24-21.
That ball died on the heel of the rim and just painfully went in to Carroll eyes. Looked a thing of beauty, like a perfect swish to Blue Jay fans.
When it hit, I thought there was no chance it was coming back around, but I was wrong. Shocker. All right, so as we head into half, we'll step aside, and maybe you can hear some Blue Jay band while it's going. I don't know if they'll leave that sound on, but otherwise we'll step back in at the end of halftime. right, welcome back to the second half of Blue Jay basketball in our girls' side of the doubleheader. Blue Jays coming out of halftime ahead 24-21 over the Carroll Tigers off a last-second three-point shot from Mia Miller.
Blue Jays are still in that 2-3 zone. I'm sure Coach Anderson made a point of emphasis to rebound the basketball. That's really how Carroll has managed to stay in the game with a lot of second chance opportunities off missed buckets.
They've done a great job on the boards, that's for sure. Tigers out here, starting lineup, it looks like Aiden